Hi there, and welcome to Celeb Hut. It appears as though Ellen's departed DJ jerk didn't truly keep Unnal alive himself, like we were told in light of the fact that some new implicating proof that has been delivered demonstrates that Ellen and Diddy might have had something to do with this present circumstance. Evidently, Jerk knew a few things he shouldn't have known, and they burned through no time, erasing him before he could open his mouth. There were a few exceptionally upsetting reports that Ellen was associated with Diddy's oddity at gatherings, and that there are a few tapes of her at their gatherings doing a few exceptionally vile things with the escorts that Diddy's employed. Word on the road is Ellen went similarly, attempting to enlist Jerk into their cracks, yet he wasn't shaking with any of the silliness and dismissed the proposition. The thing with offers like that is that you can't simply say no and be left alive. Sadly, Jerk didn't have the foggiest idea about that, and promptly after him dismissing that offer, he was found dead. A ton of VIPs have been getting sucked into this wreck with Diddy since he got uncovered. It seems like everyone in Hollywood was engaged with his criminal operations and knew precisely what he was doing, yet they either stayed silent about it or took an interest. The vast majority of us definitely had some awareness of Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Kim Kardashian, and Jill's contribution, yet the vast majority weren't expecting Ellen DeGeneres to be on the rundown. I mean, it's public information that Ellen isn't the great individual she introduces herself to be. Nevertheless, no one idea her frightful way of behaving truly went similarly as her serving to Unnal of individuals. Some of you all don't have a clue about this. Yet Ellen used to have an extremely close bond with Diddy before all of this, and she got welcome to each and every one of his gatherings that, as well as Denny, is truly quite possibly of the most welcome superstar on her show, with north of 17 appearances. Do you all skill much? Someone must cherish someone to welcome them to their show multiple times. And do all of you recollect the time that Ellen explained to Diddy that the justification for why she couldn't come to every one of the gatherings, he was welcoming her to her, since they were all being held in the East Coast as the discussion went on. Diddy referred to his oddity off gatherings by saying he hosts after get-togethers that are hung on the second and third floors of similar inns, which Ellen said she definitely knew about anyway. She immediately discovered herself slipping and backtracking by saying she is familiar with the gatherings since he truly raps about them in his music. So educate me regarding your birthday celebration. Am I welcome? Yes, you're certainly welcomed. I welcome you to every one of my gatherings you haven't seen to make an appearance to. No, well, there is it on the East Coast. Yes, well, that is the reason. How about you have one here on the West Coast, 'cause I work constantly. Okay, well, perhaps I have one at your home. Where's it now? What time would your party start? Suppose like 9:30. Actually, that early, better believe it. I could make that definitely. Yet I figure I could imagine you of beginning a party at like 12 p.m. like WW. Hat time will it go till that is an alternate kind of party. However, no. It'll go from like 9:30 to like perhaps 3:00 to 3:00. And afterward, you realize we have the main two stories of the inn, MH, and afterward, it will carry on there. Better! Believe it, definitely. No, I mean the get-together. No, I am familiar with them. I'll pay attention to the music. I've heard that tune after party. Like, you can't make this up. They truly stayed there and played right in front of us. Yet at the time, individ. You whales didn't exactly add something extra to it much, since we clearly didn't know around 50% of the things that we realize about Diddy today. Anyway, individuals began to return to all that after a video became a web sensation of Ellen getting apparently apprehensive and in a real sense hurrying to get into her vehicle after she was gotten some information about her viewpoints on the charges against Diddy are not out of the question that she will be asked, that considering they used to be so close for reasons unknown, Ellen went into full frenzy mode and bounced in her vehicle before they could pose her some other inquiries about old-fashioned companion. Diddy, maybe she was running from the inquiry. Ellen, were you surprised by the charges about P. Diddy did that unexpected you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show, commonly rises to her reaction to that. The inquiry was very bizarre, and it made individuals are extremely dubious of her, beside her, previously being known for abusing and coming up short on her laborers. She was additionally uncovered a short time back for being an overbearing person and making her better. Have Pora quit her place of employment as an entertainer to turn into her little housewife. Yet no part of that thinks about to the bits of hearsay about her being behind the shocking demise of her ex Anne Hench. Yet it deteriorates on the grounds that she kicked the bucket on August 11th of 2022 right around 4 months to the day that Ellen's DJ jerk was additionally found. D-dead like it's some kind of ceremonial passing now for those of you who don't have the foggiest idea about was an entertainer, and she and Ellen began dating in 1997, preceding separating in 2000 at the time. There weren't much of L big names, have straightforwardly gay connections, so they were discussed a ton, and their relationship was exposed so that the whole world might be able to see. At the time, individuals felt that Ellen was the person who said a final farewell to an Anne later uncovered. This during a 2021 episode of her digital recording, better along with the way that she was truly the who unloaded Ellen in light of the fact that Ellen was just centered around her cash and would in a real sense offer her spirit to have everything on the off chance that given the opportunity, I split BR up with her since her objective was to have huge amount of cash, was to find love, and hers was, I need 60 a billion, best of luck. Our forks are never gonna meet the further. We stay on with this thing. Further, we will be art during that equivalent digital recording. She additionally blamed Ellen for attempting to place her in a psychological facility that, as well as after their terrible separation, Ellen worked after some time to ensure that I got no additional acting gigs. She totally debased her and covered her vocation. Single truth that I spoke, I was hit more covered all the more, or detested more, and afterward had determined dreams and disseminations of frameworks that turned me up and out of the framework that would in any capacity challenge the way that she was not explaining to her own reality, but rather another's. For what reason do you think she attempted to place me in an establishment? People, hey, called my mom. Think about what two individuals who believed that more than anything should have my reality covered. It was not my timing. I didn't and couldn't ask God for what that would be the best anyone could hope for at that point was to remain on my reality, do what I was doing, and concentrate on this thing called love that we attempted to cover, and presently I'm up and out of the ground. And tragically, those two ladies couldn't close me down. And think about what only a couple of months in the wake of putting Ellen on impact and uncovering her was associated with a deadly auto collision, which left her with a few severe singeing all around her body. She was caught inside her copying vehicle for 30 minutes before person on call. At last got to the scene, ultimately passed on and as per her dissection report, she passed on from inward breath of smoke. The copy she supported and broken sternum individuals figured she could have been on when she crashed. Yet, the post-mortem examination report demonstrated that she had a tad of a substance in her framework, yet it wasn't required at the investment of the mishap. The emergency clinic affirmation blood showed the presence of benzo, the inert metabolite of which implies she utilized in the past, yet not the hour of the accident in pretty much 4 months after this DJ jerk, who was the authority DJ for the Ellen DeGeneres show, bafflingly kicked the bucket as per the reports looked into the Oak Tree Inn, which was only a 15-minute stroll from the house that he imparted to his significant other, Allison, and their 3 kids. What made Allison star overreacting was the point at which she understood Titch wasn't in the house, wasn't noting his telephone, he wasn't noting her message, and his vehicle was as yet left at the house. He never went anywhere without his vehicle, so the way that his vehicle was still there combined with all the other things that made her begin overreacting, and quickly a report for someone who has gone missing, as an expression of his vanishing, began circumventing the inn that he had looked into. He called police to report that they had found Jerk's body in the restroom. When the police showed up at the scene, it was quickly presumed that he passed on from a self-caused shot injury. Yet many individuals, including Jerk's better half Allison, was not persuaded at all that 2 times he disclosed himself since he never gave any indications of needing to perpetrate. It really seemed like he cherished being with his family, and I mean, you can't actually tell if someone is genuinely blissful by viewing them, as well as Jerk's passing was hella dubious, particularly considering the way that police began acting entertaining with the examination and switching around certain subtleties. For instance, when he was found, it was accounted for that he hadn't left any note. Yet several days later, the police backtracked and guaranteed that there truly was a note found, and it contained a few clarifications concerning why he did it.
What's considerably more insane is that the federal authorities truly couldn't ever have emerged to explain anything on the off chance that Tans hadn't gone despite their good faith to report about the note. And, I mean, in the event that it's a customary Sue note, why lie about its presence? The police were certainly concealing something. When all of this came out, individuals began hypothesizing that perhaps Jerk had been sucked into Diddy's universe of oddity offs by Ellen and realized an excessive Ellen in a real sense, conceded on public TV that she knew the things that happened in them parties.
It's truly not insane to figure she could have had a go at selecting Jerk, yet he denied, and they chose to quietness him before he uncovered them, one individual. Subscribe Celeb Hut for more videos.